Welcome back to the RF Fitness Podcast, brought to you by rffitness.net, your source for online coaching built for and by busy grown-ups just like you who are on the quest for health and fitness in everyday life. I am your host, Rob Finlayson, certified personal trainer, elder brother, and kinder dad. And I'm here with my co-host.
Rachel Finlayson! No, wait, shit, I'm Rachel Hammered.
Happens to me all the time.
If struggling to be fitter, Rachel, and in my oofta era.
In my oofta era. Rachel, would you say it has been a brat summer for you thus far in 2024?
I feel like such an old lady. I'm not tracking the brat summer thing
Are you
at
not up with the
all.
brat thing?
I don't know what it means. I don't know what it
I
is.
think we're officially too old for it. So Brat is the album by Charlie XCX. She's like a DJ musical artist from the UK.
Okay, I know who Charlie XCX is. Thank you.
Okay. And she just released this album, Brat, early in the summer. And it's like this, there's not like a single track, I think, that's like anthem-y, but it's become this like anthem, I think specifically for like young queer people. But like it seems like Gen Z's specific, like in general, are all about brat lifestyle right now, which I read somewhere is just doing whatever you want but with green fingernails.
What?
Because the album is green. It's like a neon green
Okay.
album cover and it says brat. Listen, I'm not here to explain the hows and whys, okay, of what makes
I keep
this summer
trying
brat.
to I keep trying to remember that ridiculous new statement that kids are saying about something like Ohio Riz.
Skibbity Ohio or Ohio Skibbity.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is
So
that?
okay, so Skibbity
How do you
is
know these?
I'm chronically online. It's a disease.
Huh.
Okay, so Skibbity comes from this series of YouTube, very shitty, low effort YouTube videos called Skibbity Toilet, which is this like computer generated thing. God, there's so many rabbit holes we have to go down to fully explain this. But basically, there's like this video game engine where they released all their assets for free to modders. So people can take like pretty okay looking 3D models from like a high-end video game and like make little movies and videos with it or make their own video games,
Okay.
whatever. And people have been doing this for like 15 plus years. It's called Gary's Mod. But I think a couple of years ago, someone just made like a very dumb video called it Skibbity Toilet. And it's like this toilet with a man's face in it. And that's the character. Yeah, I've never watched any of them, but as far as what I can understand from the reporting that I have done, Skibbity Toilet is just this dude's head in a toilet. Maybe he only says Skibbity, I'm pretty sure. But for some reason, as children do, they found this toilet humor video and it just absolutely exploded in popularity. And now there's like 75 Skibbity Toilet videos, and there's like this extended lore and universe to it. It's just grown and grown and grown. Ohio is what you say when something is like bad, because Ohio has
It's a horrible state.
Correct, basically. So I think the meme about it is that the U.S. has had more astronauts from Ohio than any other state. So what's so bad about Ohio that makes people want to leave the entire fucking planet?
So I thought it was gonna go like really smart people come from Ohio.
No,
okay, interesting.
astronauts come from Ohio and they leave Ohio to go to the moon. That's how bad Ohio is.
Interesting.
That's the meme. That's the joke. I think that's from a 37-year-old. So I'm
okay. Fair enough.
Check my facts if you want to.
I always thought that maybe saying good morning in Japanese was getting popular because that's how you say good morning in Japanese.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Yeah,
like,
probably not. Huh.
Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Riz, R-I-Z-Z, is short for
Riz is.
charisma, It's like
There is a
being cool
very stupid little car around our block that says with Riz on their
on their
license plate.
car.
Yes, on their license plate.
Does it say with Riz or does it say W Riz?
W Riz.
See, that's different than with Riz.
What? That doesn't mean with Riz?
No, it means win. A W is a win. So if you got W Riz, it means you got big charisma. You're a W. You're a winner.
Okay, well.
Whereas an L is a loss or you lose. So if you got you probably wouldn't say someone has L Riz because if they have L's, they don't have Riz. But if someone has L Riz, it would definitely be Skibbity, Ohio. Yeah. Just wait like 10 years and we will have to be like live stream translating what our children are saying
Yes.
around and to us. Like, I don't know what these kids are talking about. This is what part of why I will always be chronically online, because it's
Yeah.
the only way I can keep up with like the language that is constantly buffeting my elderly eyes.
Honestly, I remember my old boss's kid like kept saying different words, like, and she's like, I don't know how to respond to any of this, I don't know what he's saying. And it was just like, just everything that he says, just say bet.
Pretty much. That's a safe
That's it. And
bet.
she was just like, what? Okay.
What does that mean?
Just be like, bet, no cap. It'll completely throw him off.
You see, that's the thing. If you so I think this movement overall, this like genre of slang has like pervaded Gen Alpha so completely to the point where it's bleeding into Gen Z, and like Gen Z are just like older and older, and they're like in college basically. So I'm like late high school right now, I think late college in their 20s, and they're like I think aging out of like the extremely stupid slang.
Fair.
To the point where like W Riz and Skibbity and shit like that is being referred to as brain rot. Like they have the brain rot. Because I think it's also just like this is the language used by like iPad kids and like YouTube kids who
Very much
simply
so.
who just simply do not exist without a connection to an instantaneous streaming service.
Yes.
Because their formative childhood years were spent in quarantine. So they didn't develop
Amen.
social skills. It's all one big meal, and we just have to eat it together, piece by piece. So yeah, the brain rot I think is being phased out by Gen Z. Gen Z is very brat. They're not very brain rot. So don't get it twisted. And we have a whole other can of worms to open with summer 2024 about Chapel Rowan. Chappelle Rowan? Chapel Rowan. Chapel. Why does she spell it Chappelle?
Does it
I
have
don't
two
know.
P's?
Got 2 P's, 2 L's, bud.
No, I think it only has 2 P's, 1 L. Chapel Rowan?
Chapel. Oh, it's 2 P's, 2 L's, but there's no E at the end.
I definitely never thought there was an E at the end.
I thought it was spelled like Dave Chappelle, which is why I was so confused.
That is pretty confusing. Yeah,
But it's
I saw this TikTok. It's just like, have you just been hearing nonstop about Chapel Ronan? Do you want to know why? And it was like, oh my god, yes. I've been like wondering why is she all over my everything? And she's like, it's because you're gay. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, all right, well, fair enough. You got me. I have listened to her album many times, and I've listened to Brat many times on repeat, just because I seek to understand the youths. It's good music. Chapel Rowan slaps, unironically.
Yeah,
Charlie XCX is a little bit less my scene, but
yeah, fair enough.
good.
I just got tickets to the Leon Bridges concert. Soup's excited. So within the next few weeks, I'm going to be seeing Ludacris and T-Pain.
That's right, yes.
Glass Animals and Leon Bridges. Hashtag well-rounded.
Very well-rounded. I was going to say, isn't that like a chill singer-songwriter type vibe?
Leon Bridges?
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Oh, really? He does like R&B, like soul R&B kind of thing. He's changed his tune.
That's definitely why I don't know who that is. It's very outside of my milieu.
Yeah, like Uh, he definitely started with more of, like, the Motown vibe, which,
Sure.
like, that is my jam. Oh my god, Linnea was singing along to Sam Cooke today, and I've
Yeah.
never been happier in my life.
See, at least know who Sam Cooke is.
Yeah, thank God.
I don't live under a complete rock.
Proud mom moment.
Right.
And she
Speaking of being a
often
speaking of being a proud parent, can I talk about my kid for a while?
Fine. What did she do? Go to
Fine.
kindergarten?
She did. Olivia started kindergarten this week.
Looked
Uh,
so cute in her little
she's so
uniform.
freaking adorbs, dude. This freaking kid, dude.
Her
So
little bangs,
her little
her
bangs,
uniform.
her
Oh my
bangs are doing a lot of work,
god.
dude. They're really
Holding
carrying the
up
whole
this
thing.
institution.
Holding up this Riz, bro. This kid's got W Riz for days. Yeah, she went to kindy on Monday. Today is Wednesday. So because it's kindergarten and so for one thing, if you're listening to this in real time, they start so early because it's um, a charter school. That's what I wanted to say, a chapel school for so long because I've got Chapel Roan on the brain still. She's in one of my Google tabs right now.
It's because she goes to gay school.
It's because she goes to the Pink Pony Club. Probably not.
Oh man, that'd be great. No, please don't.
Please
Yeah,
don't.
maybe wait.
Probably not good for a 5.5-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's attended school for 3 days in a row now. I've been fortunate enough to have to drop her off for the first 3 days because they start extra late because it's kindergartners, so whatever. Their first day is always a little bit different.
Oh, like just their first week they go late?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Oh,
first three
alright.
days, yeah, I drop her off like an hour and a half later than they would normally start.
Hmm.
Which is fine because, parents, it's like this hard transition kind of thing for a lot of the kids. For some of the parents too. Not me though.
Just barely slow down and tell her to just tuck and roll.
It's just like, okay. The way I show her I love her is I tell her how to tuck her arms in and grab her backpack as I kick her out of the moving vehicle.
Oh.
Yeah, no, so loving. No, it's great. She's really really loved it. We've known she was ready for school for so long
Oh,
now.
yeah. I mean,
Ext-
she loved preschool.
She did love preschool. This kid is so social. It's nuts, dude.
Yes,
She
she
very
is.
really really thrives in social settings. She has two little friends already. One, she had a friend walking in
Oh,
already, so they kind of like pre-knew each other, which is really good. And there's pictures of them holding hands because they're in the same class. So they get together and they
adorbs.
literally jump up and down because they're so excited to see each other. Like run each other around in circles, and they're like, "Should we hold hands?" It wasn't even our idea. They're like, "Should we hold hands on the way into school?" And they were like, "Yeah." And so they hold their little hands and they walk
So
in. Oh
cute.
my god, I know, dude! It's the most adorable thing in the freaking world. And they get in there, and there's this one little girl who Olivia met last week during like meet the teacher night, and
Mm-hmm.
we played with them and their family on the swing set for probably like 10 minutes, and like every time I walk in with Olivia now, this little girl like stands up on a bench or something. It's like, "There's Olivia. Olivia, do you want to sit by me? Olivia, do you want to sit by me at lunch? Olivia, should we be together at story time, at spot time?" And it's like, dude, this kid is an Olivia stan. And like
Yeah.
Olivia apparently has already been telling stories about like, well, this kid got mad because I was playing with this kid for too long and they wanted me to play with them
Oh,
instead. Right. So it's like she's like the popular fun kid.
I was gonna say, man.
The little guys that social engineering is already happening at kindergarten level, I guess. But it only goes to prove what we already knew, that Olivia is very cool. I said I don't even know how many times on this podcast alone how cool that kid is.
Hey, fair enough, man. That's a cool kid.
Yeah. So yeah, 3 days in. Tomorrow she starts going at the normal early time. So
Mm.
I'll have a whole bunch of time during the day.
How is school lunch going?
I don't know. I'm not there.
Cool.
We had the option. I mean, we always have the option to pack her a lunch. We pack her snack
Right.
every day.
Right.
There's actually like some email or whatever newsletter that goes out to new parents or to new parents of new students. But one of the recommendations is that you, for the first week or so, you send them
We
with a lunch from home.
we covered this.
Did we?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And we just don't.
Yeah.
And like
Fair
the
enough.
first day, she was like, "Yeah, I didn't eat anything." I was like, "Well, good. I didn't waste my fucking time packing you a sandwich."
Jesus.
Yesterday,
Oh,
apparently she
good.
ate everything on her plate. Today
Oh,
I haven't heard a report. So
alright.
they also do like light lay down time around the middle of the day. It's
Mhm.
not like nap time. It's just like
Right,
chill
yeah.
time.
Quiet time, yeah.
Yeah. And Olivia's like, I fall asleep every time, which is wild because this kid does not nap, but she's so tuckered out by the end of the
Absolutely,
day. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like 4 times as long as her preschool was. She's there all day. It's brand new everything, brand new kids,
Right.
brand new material, brand new space. Like it's so much for her little brain to process. Like, yeah, this kid needs to lay down for a long time.
Has she seemed different after school at all?
I mean, like grouchy, but that's kind of to be expected, I suppose. She's just very
Yeah,
overstimulated and
right.
has like all this stuff. So like I'm doing my best not to like ask her a bunch of questions because I know how much I hated that when I was a kid.
Mhm.
You come home from the school and the first thing you get is like the third degree about like what you did that day. It's like, I don't know, dude. I just got off the fucking bus. Let me like sit for my thoughts for 10 seconds. Let me watch a show, dad.
Can't relate.
I do not want to speak right now.
All I wanna do is speak.
I know. So maybe you'll get that. Maybe you'll get that. Yeah, Olivia is very much like me, where she's just like, I don't know. It was fine. I did stuff. I don't remember. Like just very
Yeah, fair enough.
pretty. I feel
But
like common after
I
school
I
answers.
remember, in, like, middle school, mom would be like, "How was your day?" And then I wanted to tell her so many things, but because I was so devoted to being such a heinous bitch, I was like,
God,
"Nothing."
God.
Yeah, we were speaking of kids taking after you and being social and stuff, because we live super close to a park that has 2 different playgrounds, and there was one park that there was a plethora of other children to play with, and I was like,
Uh
"Oh my god, yes." Like, I am the mom that I see other parents, and I'm like, "Let's go make friends."
huh.
Um,
Not my vibe. Not my scene, dude.
right.
Yeah,
And then there's the other playground that not one single soul was at.
sure.
And I was just like, "Which playground do you want to go to, honey?" And she's like, "This one, the one with nobody."
Of course.
I was so sad. And I
Devastated.
was just like, "All right, I guess you are half of your father."
Whatever. Go play. Go be happy playing by myself.
Ugh.
Entertain myself. Whatever,
Well,
dude.
except for I have to play with her the entire time.
Yeah, I
And I'm
guess
like,
there's that. Yeah, she's not
it's
really entertaining
almost
herself.
like there are other children to played with, but okay.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
If only. But yeah, college prep starts next week.
Alright. ACT scores.
Is it to get him in? Test or nothing. Do we want to do your check-in first, or or can I run through my quick little spiels about my
Yeah, run your quick little
topics?
spiels.
My quick little spiels. Okay, I want to give a quick update for everyone who's been asking me about the hashtag Road to 200. All fucking zero of you.
Ouch.
Uh, nobody cares about my stuff, dude.
Oh
It's
my
fine.
god, that's not
I'm
true.
gonna talk about it anyways. I'm gonna talk about it anyways just to make the haters mad. I got to think about that actually later too. Road to 200 is going well. I am going to take my stats every other Saturday. I weighed in last weekend at
Like, you
186
only wear yourself every Saturday? Or every 2 Saturdays?
every 2 weeks. Yeah, on Saturday morning,
Dang.
and I'm taking circumference measurements too because I don't have the fucking time and energy, right? Because I don't have like a body fat analyzer or whatever to like see how much
You're
muscle I'm
Kevin.
growing. Circumference measurements because it is a non-invasive, highly like affordable, very approachable way to measure changes in the body. And I just have my scale is in the downstairs bathroom. My whole life happens usually upstairs. So if I got to weigh in, I have to come
Yeah.
all the way downstairs, do the whole thing, whatever. Get my flesh outfit and do that. When I have stuff going on for the rest of the day, I don't want to do it before breakfast on like the weekday because I got to
Right.
help the girls get out of the house, whatever. Yeah, weighted 186, which is like a little bit higher than my normal, like 183 ish. So
Oh, okay.
I have not been working out for the past like when I did that weigh and I hadn't worked out really for like 2 weeks, so it's gonna be all
What?
fluff. I got like so the last week before I weighed in was hyper busy because Mo was in like school prep all week, so she was in building but not teaching. So like I had the
Mhm.
kid solo dad for the whole week, so I just did not
Mhm.
really have a lot of time for myself. And the week before that, I got injured in jujitsu. I talked about
Oh,
my
yeah.
busting my toe up. Yeah,
Due to
busting
your
my
man
foot up.
throwing.
My man throwing. I threw a man upon myself. and was injured for it. So yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot of training there, but now I'm like kind of back on program a little bit more. I got more time for jujitsu again. I'm going to work some lifting in. So hopefully those stats begin to change. And I actually plan on getting very on program with my lifting when the new season of Quest Groups starts up September, the second week in September. So I just did a wrap up video, a debrief video on that this past weekend because my last one just wrapped on Sunday and went really, really well. We had the biggest group that we've ever had. We had the most success by client that we've ever seen. It was client by client. We had the most engagement, we had the most RPG nights. It was just the biggest and best one yet. I'm very excited for this next one. I did not do the program alongside people this past season, and it shows and I feel it. And so I'm going to jump back on and do it again this season. Because walking into the summer, I was very fit, and walking out of the summer, I am not. I do not feel that way. So I want to change that. I'm going to do that by jumping on the Quest Group season. If you are listening to this episode, Quest Group season registration is open until September 9th. Registration is as simple as messaging me and saying, "Hey, Rob, can I be in Quest Groups?" That's pretty much it. And then I give you all the information. I'm not going to bore you guys with the information about it right now.
But Linnea would say, "Want to do that?
Want to do that?" And I would say, "Kind of hard." And then I would say, "Hold the chicken." Dude, that picture of Linnea holding the chicken is, speaking of freaking adorable.
Oh, I know it.
Dude, that's like mantle, like forever mantle material.
Saying nothing brings that kid joy like holding just one chicken, not two, just one chicken.
Is she very particular about the number of chickens?
She's particular about that's her trying to convince me to do something. Like, Mama, can I have a popsicle? And I say, no. And then she says, but just one. Not two.
That's like when we were kids, when I was a kid, and I'd see a commercial for toys, and I'd tell mom and dad about it. I'd be like, "No, mom, batteries not included," because I didn't know what that meant. So, but they
always
say batteries not included. So I was like, that sounds odd. The way that guy says it, it sounds fucking rad.
That must be a huge perk.
That's got to be a huge selling point to these adults. And they're like, that's just more money I got to spend on this dumb, noisy toy. Right. No.
Oh god, yeah, I got Linnea this like little, essentially a little sub pump,
cool,
in hopes that I could rinse her hair. Joke's on me.
Not happening.
Still just a sub pump waterboarder. But it requires hella batteries. Yes, it does. It requires hella batteries, and it was just like taking battery, and we didn't have any, so I was just like desperately trying to find batteries all around my house,
cannibalizing from remote controls and stuff. Yep, that's TV remote's always the first to go.
Yes, I'm like, damn, triple A's.
This isn't what I need. This isn't the caliber I need.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, for
Oh no. Hell no, bro. Robbie, come back. We're trying to record a podcast. Robbie, come back. I'm expecting a text that says, keep it going. Hope you're enjoying my singing. Oh, Jesus. Rob, where are you? And now you have fully gone away. Yeah, so BTS for all of you guys, which means, by the way, Rob needs a new desktop computer because this keeps happening. And then you guys have to listen to me sing about being lonely or something. And he crashed it like 3 times before we started this episode. Ooh, Um, and I said, "This better not happen during the recording." And he said, "No, this should be the last one." So here we go. That was our last one. I don't think so, Rob. I think you're a liar. Cause trying to hold down this recording. Well, I guess I'll fill this time by telling you, "Oh, hey, Rob, nice to see you. Want
Yeah.
to record a podcast?"
You know what? I would love to. Did you have a good time while I was gone?
Great.
I bet. Yeah, my computer
Awesome.
fully blue screened there. That was very cool. I can edit this part out,
I
so
just
there's not a bunch of this
I
bullshit.
think you should keep it. It's quality content.
Is it pretty good? I mean, I'll
I
give it
can't
a
wait for
listen
you to
back.
listen to it.
All right, well then maybe we'll
I
keep
mean,
it
you
all in.
have to.
I do kind of
I
have
was
to when
just
I
about
edit.
to talk about my hydro jug.
Oh yes, tell me about your hydro jug, bro. Are you a hydro homie
Yeah,
now?
so I am.
All right.
I'm a double H. Um, it's like essentially a Stanley.
Uh-huh.
It's 40 ounces. It's humongous. Has a big
Damn.
old handle. It 100% does not leak. 100%.
Whoa.
That's the highest percentage you can have.
That's I don't know. Coach always said to give 110%.
Fuck that coach. He's never had a hydro drug.
Probably not, actually.
Yeah, no, this thing is incredible. And
How many do you
it
have in a
has like
day?
well, it's hard because it has now become the family water jug.
Oh, it's communal.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
I agree.
I'm gonna say that's probably not as intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, unintended
I
consequences of having
mean,
the best jug.
yes, I am happy that my family is staying hydrated. I am not happy that I have no idea how much water I'm drinking.
Well, the the answer to how much water should I drink is usually more. So I think you're fine.
I fucking guess. Um, but on my habit tracker, it says drink more than 64 ounces of water. Now I can't.
Well, that's like 1.5 of those, right? And if you can guess it, you get about 1.5 of those jugs. That's 64
Yeah,
ounces
I guess.
ish.
Whatever. Anyway,
64
it's
ounces ish.
gorgeous. It's black with shiny leopard
I
spots,
can see that's very cool.
and I like petting it. And I
Because
like drinking out of it.
there's some texture on there.
There's some
Like
nice texture.
I think it's called a melanated jaguar.
All
The
right,
Black Panther, the Black Jaguar, yeah.
fair
Um,
enough.
yeah. Native to South and Central America,
Obviously,
obviously.
yeah. This cup has the Riz, so it's
Wonderful.
it's pretty skibbity doo dah day.
This has been really excellent content. You're right so far, Rachel. This Can we do a little mini check-in here
Yeah.
for you? Where are we at? We've been going through it some more.
Yes. I thought, and that's the last episode, I said,
Yeah.
it seems like we're not going through it anymore. And then 2 days later, I went through it even harder.
It was went through some
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
But so I've been just going back to my old coping mechanisms,
Yeah.
aka eating.
Yeah.
And that hopefully things will take a turn after this weekend.
Yeah.
I did after the podcast in between. What a crazy week. But in between last recording and today, I
Yeah.
did hit that giant goal.
Hooray.
That was very exciting.
That is very exciting.
And then I gained a giant amount of weight.
Well, hey, you know what, Rachel? That just means you get to hit it again.
Yay!
How exciting!
Double pleasure, double the
Whoa, double
fun.
the fun.
Yeah, so no, I mean the intention is I don't see this as 100% giving up.
Right.
I will eventually come back and sign in as actually fitter Rachel.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I think before the call, you had said you were about 75% given up,
Yeah.
which is still not 100.
Still not 100. We're not at hydro drug level. Um,
We're not quite at the 64 ounces of quitter yet. We're at like the 45 ounces
and now this
portion
has
right
become
now.
a family quit.
Well, like I was saying earlier, again before the call, like it's like I think we're in the right headspace for it. Like this is temporary. Like you have plans to get back on it. You're excited to get back on it. We want to do this. I think it's a good, healthy shift away from like, well, we've gone off the rails, so fuck the entire project,
Mhm.
right? It's not this all or nothing thinking that we've been
Right.
struggling with or we had
Right.
struggled with. I think we've gotten a lot better at. So if we're looking for silver linings, I think there's one. There's times for, I think about like fitness and working out specifically, but like anything that we do, especially in a coaching scenario, there are times when we are training for things. Like I think about like vacations specifically or whatever, or like when stuff comes up and you can't do your workouts or whatnot. People always get really bent out of shape about that. There's times when we are training, doing specific eating, doing specific sleeping, doing specific workouts, and there's times when we are applying our fitness. Like when you have to walk up 1,000 steps at this thing, or like you get very sick and your body needs to heal itself, or like your family gets very sick and you need to like drop everything and like provide for them all of a
You
sudden,
throw a man.
you throw a man onto your own body and hurt your body with that man. That's not what I trained specifically for. It's just a fun little side effect. But yeah, like I've said a million times, like fitness should not be the thing that like you live your life for. Fitness is a thing that you use to enhance everything else about your life. And that includes getting through shitty stuff. Like I
Mhm.
think if you are physically and mentally healthy, you are much more resilient. I think we're seeing a lot of that in like your thought process lately. There's a lot of this resilience, this mental strength. What you were describing, the process you had to go through earlier in this week to get these next steps here done shows, I think, a lot of not just resilience, but like mental strength and fortitude. I think it reminds me a lot of like mom, when she would have to get into like
Yes.
boss, like you said, boss bitch mode.
Yes,
Uh,
literally, like, the woman that I've been in contact with through this situation, she
mhm.
was just like, "You are crazy impressive." She was like, "Quite literally, if you want a job when all of this is over,
Yeah,
hit me up."
you could. It'd probably be easier on your hands than grooming.
Yeah, well, probably wouldn't make as much money because,
I guess that's true. But you could eat things that don't have dog hair in them.
you know,
You could also
who
have
wants
skin that doesn't have dog hair in it.
that doesn't sound exciting.
I can tell you right now, it's pretty great.
Ooh, let me shout out the groomers that listen and inform all you other non-groomers about this disgusting thing called groomer's lung.
Oh, is it exactly what I think it is?
It is. Our lungs are
Gross.
quite literally coated in teeny tiny hairs.
I hate that.
Yeah, and people have had like x-rays or whatever, and they're like, these are like worse than heavy smokers. Because all we do is breathe, like, especially when we see like a beam of light, not like from
Oh yeah,
aliens, but just sunlight. Um,
but also maybe from aliens.
Maybe from aliens,
I
yeah,
don't know.
sun aliens. Um, and then you just see all these, because especially when we're like shaving a dog, not
Yeah,
even shaving a dog, taking hair off the dog, it's these teeny, 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 tiny hairs that are floating
yeah.
all around that are super light, and so they're going into every orifice, including our mouth, which
Ugh.
travels into our lungs, which coats the inside of our lungs with dog hair.
Oh,
Once
very
again,
yucky.
tip your groomer.
And trigger warning on this
Word.
episode for fuzzy lungs.
Fuzzy lungs. Hashtag fuzzy lungs.
I might name the episode that.
Fuzzy lungs.
Fuzzy
I
lungs.
remember my bestie's ex-boyfriend used to give me so much shit for doing verbal hashtags. He's just like, why are you constantly verbally
because
hashtagging?
it's hilarious. It's
I
very
was
funny.
like, because it's hashtag fun.
Got him. like saying LOL out loud. It's funnier to say it. I know
It
it's dumb
is.
and annoying. That's why I do it.
Right.
Doy.
Honestly. But yeah, so so I have honestly been not psyched to record these last every single episode that I've seemed not psyched about.
Yep, I know.
Um
Yeah,
but I think it is important because like in the very beginning of this we were saying it might not be about weight loss, it might just be a very honest
sure.
look on what prolific weight loss looks like.
Yeah,
Um, because I have lost a good amount of weight. I am still only about a third of the way there. But it's a third of the way closer than I was.
hell yeah, dude.
Um, and so I keep also reminding myself of this awesome quote that my friend M shared with me, which I may have said this already, but it's so damn good it's worth saying again that you didn't come this far to only come this far.
Oh,
So
I like that.
yeah. Um, and then also the prolific philosopher Ti
Mm,
says,
he says
if you
lots of
want
things.
if you want yeah. If you want things you've never had, you gotta do things you've never done.
Wisdom for the ages, Ti.
Which also includes performing OBGYN.
What?
You don't know about that with his oh yeah, he gets his daughter's hymens checked. Um
That's very weird.
and that's how he like figures out if they still can like get allowance or something like that. I became an instant not fan.
That's yeah. That's gonna break it down there.
Yeah, big fan of the music, not a big fan
Not a
of the
big fan of the
guy.
guy. Yeah, at least Akon started his own city.
Oh yeah.
Was it Akon? I think it was. Yes,
I
because he
think
was
it
gonna
was, yeah.
because they're gonna have their own currency called A coin.
Oh,
It was gonna
that's
be like it was
fantastic.
gonna be like cryptocurrency only for like Akon City, called A coin. Weirdly, it
What?
never took off. The whole project just kind of started and
I
died. Yeah, I know if you can imagine.
I don't think so. Um, but yeah, so but today, because we were supposed to record last night, I said
Yep.
no, I am late tired. And then so we said tonight, and I was just like, oh God, all right. I said it was gonna be today. We gotta do it today. And then
Yep.
two people reached out and told me how much they absolutely love the podcast, how much they absolutely love how honest we are, and all this. So oh, that was super needed. Shout out Lydia and Sue's Akemi. Um,
Shouts. Ah,
shouts.
that's me shouting them out. That's just for you guys. That one's just for you.
um, I do. Also, side note, one thing I've realized about losing a good amount of weight when you're old is that you thought you didn't have wrinkles in your face, but you do.
Turns out they're there.
Literally, I was just like looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, huh, but wait.
Why is there shapes where there wasn't shapes before?
Like, yo, man, this is a whole irrigation system on my forehead. What up with that?
I never really noticed I notice a lot of gray hairs, but wrinkles are not something I'm dealing with
I
yet.
barely have any gray hairs. Shout out, Dad.
I'm like fully on my way to salt and pepper here in the next probably 10 years, easily.
Okay, 10 years is pretty far out, my friend.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If I have hair by then.
Um, did you know that Dad used to pay me a quarter to pluck out gray hairs?
Yes. Oh, Dad.
That man kept me employed.
Yep. You like
Yep.
grooming early on too. That's setting up for life.
True that, dude.
Tipping
I
people
will
on
never
hairs for
forget
sure.
when I got my first little stuffed animal dog, Toastin, that I
I wrote.
was.
I remember Toastin. You were very
Guess who?
obsessed.
Guess who's in my bed right now? Besides my
Toastin?
husband.
Is it Toastin?
Yes,
Gosh,
it's Eric and Toastin.
God.
Um,
You still
it,
have it? That's wild, bro.
and I still sleep with him every night.
It's wild, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, when I got him, I said I need a brush for him to brush him out. And I
There
got
we
a
go.
slicker brush, which is a good choice
Yeah.
for the coat type.
Is that when you knew you wanted to be a groomer? Was like early on? Like, I mean, you always wanted to work with animals in some capacity, like specifically
Yes, it
pets and
was
dogs.
literally when we were taking Billy to Petco for grooming, and they
Mm.
said, uh, "Hey, you can make a lot of money doing this."
Here's something you already just want to do. What if you got paid a lot of money to do it?
Yeah, right. Because yeah, original dog Billy was a miniature poodle, so he had a lot of grooming.
Mhm.
And there is not, I mean, as big of an industry as animals are, there
Yeah.
aren't like that many jobs in it.
There's not
Um,
like jobs to do, or like there's just not a lot of employment to go around.
there's just not a lot of employment to go around, especially like past entry level.
Mm,
Everybody can work at a boarding facility, like work in a daycare,
sure.
that kind of stuff. Very simple. But like there is no more vet tech schools in Minnesota.
Really?
Um they got rid of all of them.
Because just no one's
Um
enrolling, or what?
no, they were definitely enrolling. I don't
Yeah, that's wild.
exactly know. It was Rasmussen and Argosy.
Yeah.
There's one community college, Ridgewater College in Hutchinson, Minnesota, because that's where I was going to go. Um, I don't know if they're still doing it, but it is like impossible to find a vet tech. Um, but also, you make like $12 an hour and pay sixty thousand
Oof.
dollars in student loans. Um,
I can see why people
and
wouldn't sign up for that. Yeah.
well, yeah, right. Um, yeah, it's the student loans of it all. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
wanna become a vet. I think when you're a little kid and you love dogs, you say, "I'm gonna be a vet."
I want to be, because that's all you can. That's all you know that there is to do. You know.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a kennel staff. Um, so
Said no one ever.
he said no one ever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I I also just like think dog grooming is a pretty cool job. Everyone thinks it's a cool job, man. It really gets people talking. I love that I don't have a lame job because I remember people asking what mom and dad did for a living, and I'm
Yes.
like, I got no idea, but it's
Couldn't tell you.
boring. Yeah,
I know that it's dull as hell. Yeah.
right.
I know they sit in cubes.
Exactly. Like mom
Yeah.
actually did some pretty prolific stuff.
Yes.
Um,
I mean, now as adults, when you have a deeper understanding, like what occupations are.
right. But I
Yes.
am so psyched for when people ask Linnea what her parents do, and they're
Yeah.
a dog groomer and a train conductor.
Yeah.
But
That is pretty
sometimes I
cool.
get pretty bitter because kids will, like, or adults will ask me like, "What do you do for a living?" And I say, "I'm a dog groomer," and they're like, "Oh wow, that's so cool. What does your husband do?" And I said, "He's a train conductor," and they're like, "What?"
I'm guess I'm gonna guess it's 99% guys who have that reaction.
No, everybody does.
Really? I
Yes.
think every
Es
little boy wanted to drive trains when he grew up, for sure.
Exactly, and, like, yeah, w we just told this kid at gymnastics, and
Oh,
she I said something or another because my husband's a train conductor, and she was like, "Sam, come here,"
you gotta hear this.
and I was like, "Okay,
It's real. Grown-ups
yeah,
do it.
right," and he's like, "What?" And I was just like, "Alright, yeah, next time I see you, I can, like, give you a lantern," that's like because Eric has all these things that like,
Yeah.
equipment that he doesn't he gets new stuff all the time,
Yeah.
so, like, used on real railroads by a real train conductor,
Yeah.
the
We
lantern
have
is a
one of
very
those lanterns, yeah.
yeah, they're great lanterns,
Yeah.
um, and so I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you a lantern," and he just pooped his pants, maybe literally,
Who
um,
knows? Small children.
and I was just like, "Or I could bring you a slicker brush. Hmm?
Hmm?
Hmm? Steel
Yeah?
comb?"
Yeah?
Not as interested at all.
See, I have the
Um,
same thing, but on the opposite end, because people ask me what I do, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a personal trainer." They're like, "Oh." It's like not thrilled that like my occupation exists in general, I think. And then they ask what
really?
Mo does. Like, yeah, the people if the most I ever get is like, "Oh, like where?" And then I have to explain that I work at this gym soda, and then I have online stuff, and like, "Oh, so you like watch people on Zoom do workouts?" No, and it's this whole thing. I guess part of it is like that's not the part of my job that I like to talk about. That's the really boring thing to me. Is like, here's how the
Mm,
business works. It works like this. It's all online. Like no one ever seems. I guess no one seems stoked on it because I probably don't seem stoked on it because I'm just explaining my business model for the 99th time this
fair.
month.
Yes.
But then people ask what Mo does. Like, oh, she's a teacher. Like, oh, like what does she teach? What does she do? It's like, oh, she's actually a math interventionist. Like, whoa, like I needed help with math when I was a kid. It's like, cool,
Mm,
bro. That's not my job. I can't talk to you about this
yeah.
stuff. She's not here right now at this
Right.
grocery store.
You want to do some burpees?
You're with me. You're with me. Do the burpees now.
Run.
Repulse the monkey. There's a lot of portions about my job that I think are fascinating that I will be passionate about forever. But those aren't the things
Yeah.
that people think to ask about when they find out someone is a fitness coach.
One of
Um,
my favorite and least favorite things are when I say I'm a dog groomer and they're like, "Oh, really? I have." And so many times people have said, "I have a blank," which
mhm.
is a breed that I don't want to do. And then I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I meant I'm an accountant," which gets them laughing. And it's
Yeah,
my humorous way of saying no.
I'm not gonna do your dog, bro. That dog sounds bad.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel, I think that's everything that I had to ask and talk about from you. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up on the call?
Uh, I don't think so.
Any more shout outs, last minute shout outs?
I mean, I love a shout out. God, I love shouts.
You do. Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I was talking when I was talking to Akemi, my friend client,
Yes.
because all my clients are friend clients. She was just saying how eye-opening hearing me talk about how miserable it was going to the mall when I
Yeah.
was younger. And I've had multiple people talk about specifically that.
Hmm.
So I think, which I told you earlier, but next week I'm going to come at you with some things that you don't think about as a not fat. Um,
Yeah.
and so I mean, chances are if you're listening and you're a prolific fat, I know you. Um,
Like personally,
yes.
I
I
know
have
you.
been begging other fats to listen to the podcast. Maybe I say, "Hey, fat, will you listen to the
Hey,
podcast?"
fat.
And
Great
then they don't. It's
salesmanship,
weird.
Rich. That's awesome. It's so weird that they're not into that. I was gonna
Yeah,
say like
but
that.
it is
That's a
like
privilege that you have that I do not. It's like, oh, you'd love this podcast because you're fat. Like I can't say that. If anyone can't say that, I can't say it the most.
my sister's just like you. That's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's like everyone that tells me. I have heard it from so many people throughout my entire life. You look so much like blank. You look so much like this person. I had somebody take my picture at a tennis game because they were like, I have to show this person. And I remember one time this guy said to me, and I did kind of know this guy, and he said, "You look so much like my niece. It's blowing my mind. This is insane. Oh my God." And I was like, all
Yeah.
right, I've heard this my entire life.
Sure.
I've never asked for a picture. Can I see a picture of this person that looks exactly like me? Because
Right.
I have never seen anybody that looks exactly like me. And he showed me a picture. And he said, "Yeah, this is my niece that looks exactly like you." And I said, "Do you mean because she's a fat brunette?"
He's a dude. Right. Yeah.
Like,
Oh man.
get bent, bro.
Real. Open your eyes, boys.
Oh.
Oh man.
So now I'm just thinking back on all these people that I was like, oh, do you also know a fat girl with brown hair?
Right? Are people this
Probably.
stupid? Yes, they are. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
like, oh God. So anyway, I'm gonna hopefully create a list of, you know, things that not fat people
Non
don't have to think about.
non-fats.
And I
Yes.
guess blow your mind with some fat facts.
I look forward to hashtag fat facts.
Hashtag fat facts forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the RF Fitness Podcast. I am Coach Rob. If you want to know more or begin your own fitness journey, whether or not you are a fat You can go to rffitness.net. That's rffitness.net to learn more and scroll all the way to the bottom of the page to join our Discord community for free. Thank you all for listening, and as always, keep questing.
Yeah.